All right, welcome back. Cost of living may be a top concern for you. In fact, according to recent studies, affordability dominates the worries of many Americans. And tonight we're focusing on a new study. It is revealing how cost of living pressures are really putting a strain specifically on military families. The study was done by USAA's Educational Foundation, and joining me in studio tonight is the president of the foundation, Mr. David Evans. David, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate your time. I've got the report right here, about 27 pages, but we got to condense those 27 pages. But for our viewers at home, what exactly, before we get to the report, what exactly do you guys do, just to kind of maybe set up the landscape there?
Yeah, so USAA, which Military City, USA, right here in San Antonio, we created the USAA Foundation, the USA Educational Foundation, almost 40 years ago to help military families make better decisions. And so we provide free financial education to anyone through our website and through lots of different partners that help military families be more financially resilient and just help them make everyday decisions about how to buy a car, how to buy a home, how to save for kids' college. And that's our mission. That's what we do.
Make sure they have that support. With this report, you listed advantages and also some challenges. As the guy who likes to get the good news out there first, let's talk about some of the advantages that you saw.
Yeah. Well, when you think about a military family, you think about discipline and structure, right? And you can see that in their finances just the same. They have higher household incomes. They have higher savings. They're much more likely to actually own a home, which is a wealth building type event. And so when you think about the discipline that they learn in service, they actually really do a good job of applying to their finances just the same.
Now, in regards to the challenges, I know one thing, and I think we may have that on the screen for our viewers at home, the unemployment rate, and I'll just read one of them, for military spouses is 4 times the rate of their civilian counterparts. So that was one. There's some others there. What are some other challenges that you found?
So you nailed it, right? So it comes down to the life events that you go through as just an everyday person. Military families do that all the time. So they're often having a permanent change of station, which means you go from one duty location to another. That's almost like picking up and rerouting your family every 2 to 3 years. And to your point, like military spouses, sometimes it's struggle to find new jobs and new employment in their new location. You also have a lot of out-of-pocket expenses every time that you pick up and move.
What were some other challenges besides that one, if you can?
Yeah, I mean, you have out of pocket, so you're buying new decorations for the home. You're buying first month rent, last month rent. Also adjusting. You have to make a new budget every time you move. You have to make a new budget to your new location. You might move from Central Texas to San Diego, California. That's a very different cost of living that you have to adjust for.
Very true. Was there anything from the report that may have surprised you, or you think that may surprise people at home watching this?
You know, I think that the one thing that we saw is when you leave service, you leave uniform, and you're out now as a civilian. Younger enlisted service members fall into debt significantly more than the average civilian counterpart or their average, peer. And that's one thing that we sometimes see is where you have heightened risk of homelessness, heightened risk of hunger, even, that leads to bad things like some suicide. And so, what we think about it, of where we try to help is where can we provide good education during those life events, whether you're PCSing across the country, you're deploying, even having a kid, or it could be just you're leaving uniform and you're leaving a lot of those benefits and social systems that have helped you for so many years, and now you're trying to figure out your new life as a civilian. Financial challenges are always there, and how you react to them and respond to them can determine how financially resilient you are.
That's really tough, especially for our young ones, because they have so much future ahead. They're enlisting, fighting to protect and serve, and then you think about their personal situation. That's really hard to digest.
It is.
With that, you brought up, the mental health aspect to it. I think that's another part of this conversation, because we know that finances can have that pressure among a lot of us with our mental health, especially among our service members.
It is. It is. And when you think about transitioning out of uniform, you kind of lose your tribe. So you lose your sense of identity a bit. I mean, that's natural. That happens to everyone when you're in a role like that defines you so much, and then you leave that service, you kind of lose that tribe, and you start to kind of lose your purpose. And as you're figuring it out, like, finances become a factor that really can weigh on an individual during a tough time in transition.
Lastly, just to wrap this up really quickly, we have about 15 seconds. What can we learn from this study, and how do we move forward to help our service members?
I think it's sometimes the best education is the most boring. Make less than spend less than you earn, save money away for a rainy day, and think about a dollar today is worth $2 tomorrow.
Very true. All right, Mr. David Evans with USAA Educational Foundation, sir, we appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.